In the early morning hours of December 1st, 1948, a man was found dead on Somerton Beach, just south of Adelaide, Australia. He was lying against a seawall, legs stretched out, head resting as if he had simply fallen asleep. At first glance, nothing appeared unusual. There were no visible injuries, no blood, no signs of violence. Yet this man would become one of the most mysterious figures in modern history. The man was well dressed. He wore a suit, polished shoes, and a neatly pressed shirt. This immediately stood out. Somerton Beach was not a place where people dressed formally, especially not late at night. Even stranger, despite his clean appearance, no one recognized him. Police searched his body for identification. There was no wallet, no ID, no personal papers. Every label had been carefully removed from his clothing. Even his tie bore no manufacturer's mark. It was as if someone had intentionally erased his identity. An autopsy was conducted, but it only deepened the mystery. Doctors could not determine a cause of death. There were no signs of poisoning, no clear heart failure, no trauma. The organs appeared mostly normal. The man's death was officially listed as unknown causes. Fingerprints were taken and sent across Australia and internationally. No matches were found. The man did not exist in any known database. With no answers, investigators turned their attention to the man's final movements. Witnesses reported seeing him the night before, sitting in the same spot on the beach. One person said the man had raised his arm slightly and then let it fall, as if unconscious. At the time, no one thought much of it. Days passed. Still no identification. Then, weeks later, a discovery changed everything. During a re-examination of the man's clothing, investigators found a tiny hidden pocket sewn into the waistband of his trousers. Inside was a small rolled piece of paper. On it were two words printed in elegant typeface: Tamám Shud. The phrase was Persian. It translates to ended or finished. Police soon discovered that the phrase came from a rare poetry book called The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Even more unsettling, the final page of the book, the one containing the words Tamám Shud, had been torn out. The question now became obvious. Where did the book come from? Months later, a man came forward, claiming he had found a copy of the Rubaiyat in the back seat of his unlocked car around the time of the death. The book's final page was missing. Inside the book, investigators found faint writing, a strange series of letters arranged in lines resembling a code. Experts tried to crack it. No one succeeded. To this day, the code remains unsolved. Even stranger, the book contained a phone number. When police traced it, they were led to a woman who lived not far from Somerton Beach. Her name was never publicly released. She claimed she did not know the dead man and seemed visibly shaken when shown a plaster cast of his face. Some investigators believed she was lying. She once owned a copy of the Rubaiyat, which she had given to a soldier during World War II. That soldier was later found alive, meaning the Somerton man was not him. Still, the connection was unsettling. Speculation exploded. Some believed the Somerton man was a spy. It was the early days of the Cold War. Adelaide was near sensitive military sites. The coded message, the lack of identification, and the mysterious behavior all seemed to support this theory. Others believed the man died by suicide. The phrase Tamám Shud could be interpreted as a final message. It is finished. But no poison was found, no suicide note existed, and the man's peaceful posture raised doubts. Another theory suggested the man was murdered with a rare poison that left no trace. At the time, certain toxins were rumored to exist that could cause death without leading evidence. However, no proof was ever found. As years passed, the case grew colder. The man was buried in an unmarked grave, still unidentified. Decades later, scientists attempted to exhume the body for DNA testing, but legal and ethical obstacles delayed the process. When testing was eventually conducted, it revealed something surprising. The man likely had ancestry linked to Europe, possibly Britain. His physical features were also unusual, rare ear formations and unique dental traits, suggesting he was not an average individual. In recent years, some researchers believe they may have identified the Somerton man through genealogical DNA. However, official confirmation remains disputed, and many questions still remain unanswered. Who was he? Why were all labels removed? What did the code mean? And why did the words Tamám Shud appear as his final message? More than 70 years later, the Somerton man continues to haunt investigators, historians, and mystery enthusiasts alike. Not because of what we know, but because of what we don't. A man appeared on a beach. He died without violence. He left behind a message saying only that his story was finished. And yet, the mystery itself never ended.